it goes into account when he's how old now? He's 18. Between those times, between 8 years old and 18, what was happening in Josiah's life? Can brothers and sisters give me what you think was happening in his life? Huh? He was maturing. What else? I mean, we get the truth to pertain to what we going into.
He was learning more than law.
He was learning more of the law. Walk. I'm finna, man, sprinkle up cold water, man. It's Joel Austin water. He was being groomed up. Y'all understand? He was being groomed up to be able to be a leader. How was he groomed up? By following God's law, statutes, and commandments. Think about the kings before him. What did Solomon ask to be able to rule his people, to be able to rule the Lord preachers, to be able to rule the Lord's people righteously? What did he ask the Lord for? For wisdom. So he was being groomed up to rule our people righteously. So he was being groomed up in wisdom to be able to rule, right? So why do you think his acts is recorded to be righteous? The reason why his acts was recorded to be righteous, he was groomed up, giving us an example for what? How to do what? How to raise our children, right?
That's right.
This is an example, man, to try to give us a better way on how we're supposed to raise our children, to try to groom them up to be, to try to see if they can take your spot, man.
You could,
right? Because we ain't gonna be here forever. If your house y'all don't come back in our lifetime, guess what? We want them to come back in our children's lifetime. We don't want them the Lord to pass over our children, right? Go ahead.
Because let's go to first Edges. We will go back first. Then, okay. So let's go back to first Edges chapter 1, and we'll start at 16. So we see that Josiah was what? Was doing that which was right in the sight of the Lord. And like we said, we still trying to home in this point of what Josiah was doing, right? Why he was doing that which was right in the sight of the Lord, the reason or the things that led up to him doing this thing. But first, Esdras 1 and 16.
The book of First Esdras, chapter 1, verse 16.
Bring it out.
Moreover, the porters were at every gate. It was not lawful for any to go from his ordinary service. For their brethren, the Levites prepared for them.
So nobody had to do anything extra than what they were ordained to do, right? They all had to do exactly what they were ordained to do. Read.
Verse 17. Thus were the things that belonged to the sacrifices of the Lord accomplished in that day, that they might hold the Passover.
So the Levites had everything going right around that time, right? Because it was getting ready in that day. Everything was accomplished so that we could keep the Passover, right? Read.
Come. Verse 18. And offer sacrifices upon the altar of the Lord, according to the commandment of King Josiah.
Read.
So the children of Israel, which were present, held the Passover at that time, and the feast of sweet bread 7 days.
The feast of what?
Sweet bread.
How many days?
7 days.
So they had the feast of sweet bread. So you see, Passover, because unleavened bread is what? Sweet bread, man, right? That's that sweet bread. The feast of sweet bread, man. Read on.
Verse 20. And such a Passover was not kept in Israel since the time of the prophet Samuel.
And Josiah had the brothers and sisters Israel keeping a Passover to the best of his ability. It said the Passover was not kept as great as this time way back when Samuel, right? What does that show you?
Or not, I ain't gonna say good. It wasn't as great.
I mean, Josiah made the brothers and sisters really come in to keep the Passover with greatness, right? It was in order. He had the Passover in order. It said it hadn't been done since the time of Samuel, as great as this Passover was. We were keeping the Passover, man. Even that's what was going on, man. From 1400s, even up into the 600s right now, when Josiah hits the scene, we were keeping the Passover, man. You gotta look at these things. We were keeping the Passover, man. This is almost 1,000 years apart from the very first Passover, which is in what, 1446. You see that? So you can't get around this. Christians can't get around this, man. You gotta keep these Passovers, man. Oh, man, stop now. Oh, we ain't gotta do it now. But hell, they were keeping Passover from 1,000 years from the first one, right? From Samuel, from David, right? When did David hit the scene? About what year? Any brother know? About 1,000 BC, man. Around 1,000 BC. Keeping the Passover. Samuel, Solomon, they're around the same, Solomon, 900, right? Samuel going into the same. Man, we were keeping the Passover year in and year out. But this Passover was greater than a lot of the other ones. Because the same thing was happening. We would fall off from keeping our laws. We would fall off and then we'll go back into greatness. This is what Josiah was doing. This is what was so great about Josiah, because like we're going to read, go back to 1 Kings, 2 Kings 22. What did Josiah find? The book of the law. It had been lost. So that means that what? We weren't keeping Passover the way that we should around the time. He found the book of the law. We're going to read it, man, and show you this is why he did what was right in the sight of the Lord. Right? They found the book of the law, man. And guess what? He went around and said, we're going to do exactly what we're supposed to do now.
And,
right?
And do it how? In order.
In order.
They
Right?
kept the Passover in order.
That's why I said the Passover wasn't done since the time of Samuel. That was done with Josiah's time. Because he found the book of the law. They actually found exactly how we were supposed to be keeping the Passover and exactly what we were supposed to be doing. Bring it up to today. We've now found the true understanding of what we're supposed to be doing. Was you keeping the Passover in 1990? Any one of y'all? If you were born in if you was around in 1990, what about 2000? You know when y'all kept the Passover in 2000? What about 2010? Any one of y'all here keeping the Passover 2010? Right? Well, we found it. We found the book. We found the understanding. For me, around 2017, 18. Now what? About 2013, 14? We found it. So now we are starting to keep Passover in its greatest form now. It's the same thing Josiah did. Go to 2 Kings 22 and start at 8.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 22, verse 8.
Bring it out.
And Hilkiah, the high priest, said unto Shaphan, the scribe, I have found the book of the law.
He said, I found what?
I have found the book of the law.
You see that? He found the book of the law. Read.
In the house of the Lord. And Hilkiah gave the book to Shaphan, and he read. And Shaphan the scribe came to the king and brought the king word again and said, thy servants have gathered the money that was found in the house and delivered it into the hand of them that do the work. Read. That have the oversight of the house of the Lord.
Read on.
And Shaphan the scribe showed the king, saying, Hilkiah, the high priest, so like Hilkiah the priest, have delivered me a book.
Have delivered me a book, right?
And Shaphan read it before the king.
So Shaphan read the book in front of Josiah, right? So they found the law, and now Hilkiah is starting to read it in front of Josiah, right? Read.
And it came to pass, when the king had heard the words of the book of the law, that he rent his clothes.
That he what?
And that he rent his clothes.
What that mean? He rent his clothes. Josiah humbled himself. Why? Because he seen that we was what?
Doing something wrong.
That we was out of order. He had the book read to him, and he seen that we were not doing according to what the book said that we should be doing. This is why Josiah was doing right in the sight of the Lord. Because many of the other kings would have kept what? doing their old ways. But Josiah, my footnote says, Josiah humbles himself. But what Josiah did was actually heard the book, and what it immediately triggered that, damn, I'm the king of Israel right now. I'm the king of Judah. I'm finna put this thing back in order. Right? This is what Josiah did, man. Same thing with us, man. We now get the understanding of the book, and now we saying, nah, we're not gonna keep letting the world go into these old ways that they were doing. We're gonna put this thing right now. Read that again, man.
And it came to pass, when the king heard the words of the book of the law, that he rent his clothes.
That means we wasn't doing everything right. Read.
And the king commanded Hilkiah, the priest, and Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, and Achbor, the son of Micaiah, and Shaphan, the scribe, and Asahiah, a servant of the king, saying what? Go ye, inquire of the Lord for me, and for the people, and for all Judah, concerning the words of this book that is found.
He said, inquire of the Lord concerning the words of this book. Read.
For great is the wrath of the Lord that is kindled against us, because our fathers have not hearkened unto the words of this book.
Man, it's like, that boy was smart, man. Josiah was smart, man. That's a young bull, man. That young brother was smart, man. He said, the Lord is great, man. We've been doing wrong. Go inquire to the Lord, man. We finna fix this and get this right? Because of our fathers. Read that again, because of our fathers.
Because our fathers have not hearkened unto the words of this book, to do according unto all that is which is written concerning us.
You see why this Passover was one of the greatest Passovers that Josiah kept? Because he actually did it according to the commandments, man. Right? That's what we're bringing up to today. That's what we're doing, man. We are actually trying to keep these high holy days according to the commandments, man. Right? Jump over to verse 19, man.
Verse 19, because thine heart was tender, and thou hast humbled thyself before the Lord, when thou heardest what I spake against this place, and against the inhabitants thereof, that they should become a desolation and a curse, and hast rent thy clothes, and wept before me. I also have heard thee, said the Lord.
So Josiah was trying to change this thing. They were going through it. Josiah was like, this why we taking up all this mess that we going through. Because now I found the book and we're not in order with the book, man. Right? This is a great lesson for all Christians, man. You are not in order with the book, therefore you're going to have to catch hell, man. Right? But Josiah rent his clothes, man. He humbled himself down to come back and keep the commandments. Read.
Behold, therefore, I will gather thee unto thy fathers, and thou shalt be gathered into thy grave in peace, and thine eyes shall not see all the evil which I will bring upon this place. And they brought this king word again.
So Josiah did great, man, right? Let's jump over to First Esdras and read. Let's start at 19. First Esdras 1 and 19.
The book of First Esdras, chapter 1, verse 19.
Bring it out.
So the children of Israel, which were present, held the Passover at that time, in the feast of sweet bread 7 days.
Right, read on.
And such a Passover was not kept in Israel since the time of the prophet Samuel.
So it wasn't a great Passover kept like that because the laws wasn't wrong, right? This was a Passover in order, right? Read.
Yea, all the kings of Israel held not such a Passover as Josiah.
All the kings didn't hold a Passover as great as Josiah, right? He found the book and what? He started living and making Israel live after the book. Right? Read.
And the priests and the Levites and the Jews held with all Israel that were found dwelling at Jerusalem.
Read on.
In the 18th year of the reign of Josiah was this Passover kept. And the works of Josiah were upright before his Lord with a heart full of godliness.
A heart full of godliness, right? Read on.
Verse 24. As for the things that came to pass in his time, they were written in former times concerning the kingdoms, and how they grieved him exceedingly, so that the words of the Lord rose up against Israel.
So it says, as for these things that came to pass in his time, they were written in former time. Where were they written at? We in Second Kings right now, right? In your Kings and your Chronicles, man, right? That's where you see what other kings that did wrong, and you see what kings did right, right? Read that again.
As for the things that came to pass in his time,
Read.
concerning those that sinned
Concerning the
against the Lord above all people and kingdoms, and how they grieved him exceedingly, so that the words of the Lord rose up against Israel.
So this is where you go into your Chronicles, your Kings, man, your First and Second Samuel. Go ahead.
And this is why we don't give a damn about Christians or what they think about the Apocrypha, because they don't know a damn thing. That's why it lines up exactly.
Look how candid that is, man.
Exactly the same. What brother know where this quote from in the scriptures? Let's go to the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 35. Say it again. Yeah, oh, really? Yeah, that's right. Start at verse 18. No, you start at verse 17. All praise thee. Yeah. Second Chronicles chapter 35, verse 17. Saying the same thing that Captain just went over, man. That's why we don't give a damn what Christians think about the Apocrypha.
Right.
We don't, man.
We sure tell them too. I don't believe in that. We don't give a
We don't
damn.
give a damn.
We finna read it. We do it. We see it in line up.
That's right. Because even if they don't believe in it, surely they believe in secular history. And that's what the Apocrypha is, especially when it goes into the Maccabees. People still understand that that still is history. So either way you go, we try to pin their behinds in the corner. Read this out.
The book of Second Chronicles, chapter 35, verse 17. All the children of Israel that were present kept the Passover at that time, and the feast of unleavened bread 7 days.
And the same thing we just read in what? First Ezra chapter 1. Read on, huh?
And there was no Passover like to that kept in Israel from the days of Samuel the prophet. Neither did all the kings of Israel keep such a Passover as Josiah kept. And the priests and the Levites.
And the who?
And the priests and the Levites.
What I just went over. Read on.
And all Judah and Israel that were present, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. In the 18th year of the reign of Josiah was this Passover kept.
Was this what?
Was this Passover kept.
Read on, huh?
And after all this, when Josiah had prepared the temple, Necho, king of Egypt, came up to fight against Carchemish by Euphrates, and Josiah went out against him.
So we see that it's giving what? Another account. It's giving the same account. Like we say, it's just a what? Another witness to prove that guess what? The Apocrypha is also canon. Go ahead, huh?
Big compliment, man. That's great, man. That's how you line that Bible up, man, for real, man. So you see Josiah, what he did was what? Found the book of the law and came and gave the order, right? In the Passover. That's what we are doing today. We are bringing the order to Passover, right? Moses, man, the Lord, what you got something?
No, I just kind of like the reason why I keep bringing this thing up about how Passover make you feel. Man, Josiah was a turn up king, man.
Was, man.
And for the scripture to give him that, for the scripture to give him that praise of being no other king did a Passover like him. He was the turn up king, man. I just imagine if I was in that time with Josiah, I'd look at me, he probably make me go home, man. Right?
And I'm gonna tell you that point is so heavy because do any brother know who was Josiah's father? No. Do you know why I said King David?
It says his father, King David, wanted it.
Why? They come out of the lineage. So it's used like Hebraic phrasery. But who was his actual father? Do any brothers know? No. Hezekiah was his great grandfather. So that's why you have to literally track down that history. Got Hezekiah. Who you got, Brother Ocean? Who you say? Say it again. All praise, King Ammon. let's get that right quick. Let's go to the book of 2 Kings, chapter 21 and verse, we're gonna get straight to the point. 21 and verse 24.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 22, chapter 21, verse 24. And the people of the land slew all of them that had conspired against King Ammon. And the people of the land made Josiah, his son, king in his stead.
So our brain is out. Jump up to verse 20.
Verse 20. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, as his father Manasseh did.
So we know, even like Capt Jerubbaal said, that he was a turn-up king, because guess what? His father was wicked as hell. But did he follow in the ways of his father? No. Just like what we're doing today. This is why this is a great class that Captain Yara is bringing out. Our forefathers were wicked. Even though they did certain good things, they didn't do what? Keep the commandments. And we're not what? Following in their ways today. Right now, we're turning back up to do what? To keep the Passover. To keep these things in order, and to do what? Practice a righteous rehearsal. Go ahead, Doc.
Because, man, that's a great point, man, because his father did not do right, man. But he did, man. Like I said, that's what we're doing, man. Our fathers, man, didn't do right, man. Our fathers out there selling dope and all kind of stuff, man. We're going to follow no footsteps now. We're going to try to keep the commandments. Like King Josiah, right? Let's go to Exodus chapter 3. Because the Lord called us, man, to come and put these laws back into the world, man. Every brother that's in here, every sister that's in here, the Lord called you, man. No matter if you want to answer the phone or not, no matter if you want to pick it up or not, no matter if you want to text back or not, the Lord called you to do this, man. The same way he called Moses, man. Well, what did Moses have? What did Moses have when he first called? Doubt, right? We had doubt too, man. Right? Let's read this. Exodus 3 and 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Now Moses kept a flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, here am I.
So the Lord called Moses, man, right? The same way the Lord called us, he called Moses. Read on.
And he said, draw not nigh hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground.
Read on.
Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham.
God of who?
The God of Abraham.
Who else?
The God of Isaac. And the God of Jacob.
Read.
And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God.
Right, because no man can see God and live. Right, read.
Verse 7. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Egypt.
So the Lord is about to call Moses to what? Lead the children of Israel, what? Out of Egypt, man, right? The Lord is calling us right now to lead the children of Israel out of what? Babylon, man. Right? Same thing, because guess what? When we were led out of Egypt, where are we going to? The wilderness. When we get up out of Babylon, where are we going to? The wilderness, man. Passover is twofold, man. Right? Read this. Read on.
Come. Verse 7. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmaster.
By reason of their taskmaster. Again, I did a class, I think a couple weeks ago. We were crying. Not because we were crying to our God. We was crying because of what? The damn affliction.
Right.
He said, I heard they cry by reason of the taskmasters, not their cry to repent and change, but their cry by the reason of their taskmasters. Well, they put something on us, Lord. Not that we want to repent. That's what we're doing now, right? Read.
Man, this you bring this to today. Man, guess what? I guarantee you, everybody in Israel, man, we tired of going to work with them, man. I'm talking about, man, look here, I don't know how many times I say every day. If you talk to me, I know I'm gonna tell you. Man, I don't. If it wasn't for the money we had to have to pay our bills, I don't think I wouldn't work. What would we do? We don't go to job just, hey, man, let's just go to work, y'all. We having a good time. No, we don't want to be there, right? But the Lord sent these people against us, right? In hunger and thirst is one of our things, right? Just think about it, man. We got to just hone this thing in, man. Brothers, because these questions gonna start coming out, man. Y'all brothers, y'all get these things wrong. The holy water is gonna come out. Right? Go ahead.
Holy bottle.
Holy bottle.
Holy bottle, man.
Read on,
Come. Verse 7. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters.
Read.
For I know their sorrow. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land, and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppress them.
So the Lord heard our cry, just like the Lord is hearing our cry right now, like Jerubbaal say, man. We tired of this, man. Don't think the Lord not hearing our cry, but we still have things that we have to do, right? We still got to keep things in order, man. Read on.
Right. Verse 10. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, I may bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt.
So the same way that the Lord called Moses, the same way we ought to call, man. What's the preacher for call? Yeah, I know that one, man. You done answered that one like 2 weeks in a row. I'm like, you ain't answering that one. Lord willing, you ain't getting that one. Everybody said, no, Isaiah, what's the preacher for call? Isaiah 48 call. We ought to call, man. The same way the Lord called Moses is the same way he's calling us to get our people out of Babylon, man. Right? Out of spiritual Egypt, man, which is Babylon, man. Out of this Sodom and wicked place, man, right? The same way. We'll see what Moses said.
Verse 11. And Moses said unto God, who am I, that I should go into Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt?
So, like you said, Moses had down this thing too. Lord, you said to me, little old me. Same thing how every one of us that came into the truth. Lord, you calling me. Each and every brother, I know y'all can testify to that. Lord, you calling me. That's a great honor, man.
That's right.
That's a great honor that the Lord actually called us, man. You called little old me to come and get the children out of Babylon, man. Each and every one of us, that's our job.
Man, that's a heavy statement, man, because the thing is, man, why is that so heavy? Because guess what? We're like the sand of the sea. So the Most High God had his pick of millions upon millions of our people, but he chose you. Man, he chose you, sister. That thing is heavy, man. So we just can't waste that choice that the Most High God made, man. That's another way to look at that thing, man.
And just think about this also. When he had chose every one of us, he put a curiosity in our mind. They're like, man, what is this thing really talking about, man? Like when people, when this still was first introduced to every one of us, we were like, dang, I can answer. Man, that curiosity just grew. And sometimes people think they got enough questions to get answered already, so now I can go on and do what I want to do. It don't work that way. That's why the Lord said, much given, much required. So you can't just walk away from some stuff that he already gave you some answers to already. You brothers and sisters get that. Right?
That's right. That's a call that you want to make sure you answer, man. That's right. Say, you get a call, you waiting on that call. I want my job to hit me, man. Let me know my check ready. right? Man, you want to be looking at your phone, waiting on that call from Christ, man. Waiting on that call from the Most High God. And you damn sure want to answer that thing. Pick up on the first ring. Hello? Hey, damn, brother, it didn't even ring. All praise, I'm ready. You call me, Lord? I'm ready. Right? That's how we should be, man. You know, and we understand Moses had doubts. Like I said, we had doubts. Right? Like I said, that curiosity hit you, and you were like, well, damn, this just might be right, man. I always had doubts. And now I think that the Lord's going to put me on the right track. So Moses even had the curiosity too. Read on.
Verse 12. And he said, certainly I will be with you.
But the Lord is with us. That's why we don't never have to worry about going out to camp and everything, because the Lord is with us. If we are doing in order what the Most High God wants us to do, He is with us, man. The Lord says, certainly I will be with you. You don't have to worry about it, man. Just go out there and give them my word, man. Read.
And this shall be a token unto thee, that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God upon this mountain.
He said, serve God upon this mountain. Let's jump over to Matthew, man. Let's go to Matthew 9:35. Because the same way Moses had doubt, man, we had doubt too. Like I said, that's a great point I made. We the sand of the sea. You know how many people the Lord could have chose, could have called to come do this work? How many sisters He could have called to come be a true light to the world? He called you. Matthew 9:35.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 9, verse 35.
Uh-huh.
And Yahushua went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues, and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people.
Uh-huh.
But when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd.
And that's what our people are. They are scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. Lord had compassion on us, man. Christ has compassion on us to this day, man. Because we are sheep scattered, man. Read.
Then said he unto the disciples, the harvest truly is plenty,
Uh-huh.
but the laborers are few.
Man, the laborers are few, Israel. That's what the Lord was telling Moses, man. Hey, man, look, I chose you, man. Ain't no lot of people, man, that I can choose right now, man. Because it's a lot of harvest to be reaped out here, but ain't a lot of people to do it. That's right. Right? That's why we gotta make sure that this calling, he said, make sure your calling and your election is sure, man.
And even in that, like I said, I'm glad I brought this precept out, because that transitions over to the physical work that needs to be done to prepare for the Passover.
Man,
A lot of times, brothers and sisters, like we say, it takes work. We want the building to look nice. We want the food to be prepared nice. You know, we want these things done in decency and in order. And guess what? Captains can't do everything, man. That's literally why the Most High God put us together as a congregation. So guess what? We can designate brothers and sisters and offices. We can have this thing together in order, according to like even what Josiah was doing, man.
Because the laborers are few, man. So we being the laborers got to make sure that we go out here, man, and get this harvest, man. It's time to go put this Passover back into the world, Israel. This week of Passover, we need to be on our A game, light shining, man. Right? Light on shine. I'm talking about big light. What's that light? Everybody, LED light shine. That's right. You had an LED light shining, man. Right?
Still, brother, still with us. What's the precept for sheep in verse 36, man? And let us know that Christ, the multitudes that he went to were Israel. Say it again, brother. Oh, praise God. Israel is a scattered sheep.
All right, I'll pray.
What you say, Israel?
Matthew 15:25. I'll take it. I'll take it.
What did Judah say?
Jeremiah 50 and verse 17. A sheep. Make sure Bruce write that down. Showing precepts for Israel being the sheep.
That's right. Let's jump over to Matthew 21 and 28.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 21, verse 28. But what think you? A certain man had 2 sons, and he came to the first and said, Son, go work today in my vineyard. He answered and said, I will not. But afterward he repented and went.
So you see that one of the sons, what? Said, I ain't going. Damn it, I ain't going. That's how we get up every morning. I ain't going, Lord. I ain't going to work. Someone get up every morning and say, I ain't going to put this work. I ain't putting the work in for the Lord. Right? I'll put these fringes on, but I ain't gonna be no nice nigga today. I ain't gonna be nice to my brothers. If this sister at this job, I'll cuss this B out. Right? But he eventually repented and what? Went to work, man. That's Moses, right? That's what we did. That's how we gotta be, right? Read.
And he came to the second and said likewise. And he answered and said, I go, sir, and went not.
So it's only 2 types of workers, man. It's those that's gonna go to work, and it's those that ain't gonna go. It's those that gonna say they gonna work and ain't gonna work, and it's those that gonna say, well, I ain't gonna work and they gonna work, right? 2 types of workers, man. Which one you gonna be, Israel? You gonna be that worker like you gonna be like the second son and say, yeah, I go, and never show up, and the Lord call you to come to work again? Or you had that doubt at the beginning, but now you're saying, Lord, I'm gonna still go to work. Right? Repent of that doubt and go to work. That's what we gotta be. That's how Moses, that's how it was with Moses, right? Let's jump over to John 21 and 15.
The book of St. John, chapter 21, verse 15.
Bring it out.
So when they had St. John, chapter 21, verse 15. So when they had denied, Yahushua said to Simon Peter, Simon. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
So when they had dined, Yahushua said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my lamb.
Feed my lambs, right? He said unto Simon Peter, feed my lambs, right? Read.
He said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my sheep.
He told him again, feed my sheep. Read.
And he said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? He said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua said unto him, Feed my sheep.
So guess what? The Lord will call you more than once, man. Christ will keep calling you, man. Sometimes the Lord got to reiterate this thing to you, man. That's what we got to do to our people. We got to keep instilling it in their mind. Keep the law. Until you get mad, man, I'm keeping the law. It's something you ain't doing.
That's right.
It's something that you ain't doing that you need to be doing. Simon Peter loved the Lord, and Simon Peter said, Lord, you know I love you. He told him 3 times, feed my sheep, man. Right? That's what the Lord will do. He gonna call you, man, and he gonna keep on doing it. How you gonna keep on calling? Busting your ass up sometimes.
And guess what? Sometimes you can send other people.
Right?
Right? Let me touch it right quick.
That's you.
Let's go to Galatians chapter 2 right quick. In verse 11. Right? Because, like you say, the Lord steady calling you. Guess what? When you see you doing something wrong, your spirit vexed, the Lord is telling you, hey, why your spirit vexed like this? Right? Because he steady calling you to do some stuff, right? So now, that's what he's sending people now, right? Go to Galatians chapter 2,
Start verse 11.
The book of Galatians, chapter 2, verse 11.
Read.
But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face,
Right, read.
because he was to be blamed.
So this is Paul when talking to Peter. Right? And so now we just read the account how the Lord was talking to Peter. Now, guess what? He's sending Paul to talk to Peter. Like, hey, Peter, you gonna do this work, Peter. I don't care what, you gonna do this work. Because guess what? The Lord had already ordained us. We gonna do the work regardless. He had already ordained you to do your job. You gonna do it. Why do you think he sent Paul? Paul, look, Peter over there, he over there in sin. Why do you think he said he told Peter was to be blamed, right? So now he sent Peter over me. He sent Paul over here to Peter to check Peter, right? But read.
For before that certain came from James, he did eat with the Gentiles.
Right, read.
But when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself.
Okay. He said when he came, he separated himself. What happened when you separate? Give me the precept what happened when you separate yourself. Jude.
Do what?
Come on, brother. Come on, brothers.
These be they.
Come on, brothers.
These be they that separate themselves.
What you got, brother Jonathan? Doing time, man. What you got, Soji Hood?
Man, this kind of touchy right quick, because y'all brothers, man, y'all disappointing us, man. We made, hey, I don't know if we gotta take these sisters out to battle with us or what, man. Man, you gotta treat these sisters like Deborah, man. Hey, can you go out and fight with us, sisters? Man. Read Jude 1:19.
The book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 19. These be they who separate themselves.
Doing what?
Sensual.
Doing what?
Sensual.
He said these people be sensual, read.
Having not the spirit.
Having not the spirit, man. So guess what, man? That's why Peter was to be blamed. That's why the Lord asked somebody, hey, Paul, get up, go over there to Antioch. You need to go over and tell Peter, man, right? Because Peter over there, I don't know what he got going, but we need to straighten him out because he got to. Because guess what? Because when we read the scripture about Peter being to sit up at the table, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, Peter, guess what? He walking around in his flesh. Hey, Peter, you better check yourself because you're supposed to be. You got bigger works to do. That's why when we in this truth, don't think that we ain't got bigger works to do, even though you in your feelings or your emotions or you got some kind of little sin thing. No, brothers and sisters, check your spirit because you got bigger works to do besides this. This ain't the end all be all, right? That's why he got to sin sometimes. The Lord come to you. He steady coming to you because you the call. But guess what? Sometimes he has to send people to you. He got to send more people to you. Sometimes he might have to send a damn whale to you, man. Send a burning bush to you. Because you gonna learn what he say or you, guess what? Hey, you gonna get down, man. Especially if you already, we said these days, sacred, he won't, Yari. Hey, Yari, you gonna be one of the angels sitting at the gate. Yari can fight all he wants to. Get what? And the Lord keep on sending stuff to him until you make it all to where you want him to be. Right? You gonna do this work. So you keep on fighting if you want to. Go ahead.
So like I said, it could be a burning bush, it could be a whale, because who else did not want to go? Jonah, man. Jonah didn't want to go. Moses, he didn't want to go. Well, we got to make sure that we establish ourselves as being those called and go do the work, man. Give me Psalm 119 and 59. We used to always pull this precept on in Sabbath. We pull it in a while. Psalm 119 and 59.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 59.
Bring it out.
I thought on my ways
Uh-huh.
and turned my feet unto thy testimonies.
That's what we do. We need to think on our ways and turn our feet to the testimony. Moses did the same thing. He thought of his ways. Well, Lord, why you gonna send along me? I ain't nobody. Then the Lord said, I'm gonna be with you, so I'm gonna think on my ways. I'm gonna turn my feet to your testimony. Right? Read.
I made haste.
What do we need to be we doing?
I made haste.
We need to make haste in this calling, Israel. We need to make haste in our calling, right? We need to get up, get off our high horse, humble ourselves down. Same thing that Josiah did. As soon as he got the book read to him, he said, hey, man, go inquire to the Lord. Hey, go inquire to the Lord right now, right? Made haste and what?
I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
You need to make haste to keeping these laws, Israel. People back into the Passover spirit. Right, go ahead.
What's the precept, brother Renard?
Nah, I'm going there in a little bit, but
Second Chronicles 7 and 14.
Precept for Psalm chapter 119, verse 59. What you got, brother Judy? What you got, Soldier?
The rock father says it.
The Rock 5 himself.
yeah, that's where I'm going. That's the one I wanted to hear. That's the next precept. So Rock 5 said,
Brothers, make sure y'all write it down, man. Write that thing down, because even like how we still look at some brothers' Bible, Resatot, we out there teaching brothers, they got the precept next to that thing, man. But it's coming out there ill-equipped.
Give me a new reader.
Real quick.
get that Rock 5 and said. It's precept of Psalm 119 and 59 and 60. The main precept. Like I said, we can see where you're going with the other precepts too. So Rock 5 and 6.
That's a rock just hit the whole
Yeah.
ground.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarry to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
Boy, he was talking to Jonah right there for sure, boy. And he's talking to Jonah. Listen, put out not the former day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security shall thou be destroyed. Right? So that's a great precept to that Psalm 119 and 59. So Moses didn't want to go. And they want to keep these commandments. They don't want to keep enduring, man. They don't want to go through hardship and keep taking hardship. They want to give up. We can't do that, man. Right? Let's go to Exodus 12 and 14. So the feast of Passover, unleavened bread, what are we getting out of our house? We're getting the leaven out of our house. What are we really getting out of our house? Sin. Those wicked ways, man. Exodus 12 and 14.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse number 14.
Read.
And this day shall be unto you for a memorial.
For a what?
For a memorial.
This is why we do these things. They're for a memorial, man. Read.
And ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generation.
How long?
Throughout your generation.
Read.
And you shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever.
Feast by an ordinance forever. It needs to be in order forever, man, right? The ordinance that we received it by through the law of Moses, right? By the Most High God. Read.
Verse 15. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day you shall put away leaven of your house.
So we should put out leaven from our houses on the first day, right? That's the memorial, man. Those are the memorial, the righteous works that we are trying to do and action we're trying to do for our God, man. To put out the physical leaven out of our house.
For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel.
But this is what, because like we said, we're getting the physical leaven out of our houses, but what are we actually doing? We're getting the sin out of our bodies, man. Because now that house is going into your body, right?
Even on the opposite point, when we eat unleavened bread, what do we eat? Unleavened bread? You gonna eat the sin and get rid of the sin?
Sin.
You might well keep the leaven in your house.
Sin.
That's right.
You know, so brothers always want to
Man, it's
He's something else, man.
That's what brothers should be eating on a spiritual sense, man. You know, there's always a physical side, a carnal side, and there's always most importantly a spiritual side. So yes, we should be eating on righteousness. They said the sweet righteousness of the law, man.
Go ahead. Let's go to Galatians chapter 5, man, 16. Because bringing up to today, that's what we're doing, man. We're trying to take this leaven out of our bodies, man. Remove the sin from us, man. We want to keep the Passover in our purest form we possibly can. 5 and 16 in Galatians.
The book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse number 16.
Bring it up.
This I fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Right, so we need to be walking in the commandments and not fulfill the lust of the flesh. That's what getting that leaven out of our house is doing, right? Read.
Verse 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit,
Well, the leaven lusts against the unleavened, man, right?
and the spirit against the flesh.
And the unleavened against the leaven. They war together, man. That's why the Most High God said you can't have them in the same place, man.
The one to the other.
Like I said, what we eat, we eat no sin. We trying to eat the sweet bread, the sweet righteousness, right? They are contrary one to the other, right? Right? The Lord said his works are 2 and 2. Right? Leaven is against unleavened, man, right? The law is against sin, man. Read.
So that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
This is what we're trying to do. We're getting that leaven out of our house so we won't do the things that we used to do, man. That we won't fall into the old ways that we were known for falling into, right? Read.
Verse 18. But if you be led of the Spirit, you are not under the law.
If you be led by the Spirit, you are not under the law. What does that mean, brother?
Not under the law of sin and death. The law of sin and death.
Yeah, I want to give me a precept.
2 Timothy.
Let's hear it. I'll take that.
Twin, what is the law of sin and death? What is that?
Is it? I want to say sacrificial, but I don't think that's right. So I want to say sacrificial, but I don't think that's right.
To a degree it is, but
To a degree, what is the law of sin and death?
that's right.
But if you sin, you get put to death.
That's right.
That's right. What did I say in class? Some scriptures and things, they are verbatim. They right
That's
there in
right.
your face. Some things you got to do a little diligence.
That's right. You know, you want to, yes, your initial point is right, you know, but we want to make sure that brothers is just not regurgitating things that we teach them, but that they fully understand. The law of sin and death also goes into certain laws that we couldn't atone for in the Old Testament. You want to make sure that you put that on there. Go ahead.
Read this precept, 1 Timothy 1 and 9.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 9. Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane.
So the law is not made for a righteous man, right? But if you're led by the Spirit, you're not under the law. What does that mean? If you are keeping the commandments, then the law don't apply to you. Because where there's no sin, there's what? It's like where there's no law, there's what? No sin. It's like it. Thank you, bro. Captain,
And
right.
it's all the way to it. Just like Octave was going into. If the law don't pertain, the reason why, just like your mom and daddy, the prime example. If somebody in there getting a whooping for something, like say for example, I'm gonna use one of the twins. One of the twins getting a whooping. Guess what? And the other twin is not getting a whooping. That means he doing what's right. Right? This is simple, right?
You made it this time.
You made it. You doing what's right this time, right? So that means it's got to be for the people that's going off. Law was used for correction.
That's right.
going, this is what it's basically going, it's used for some correction for us, to get us back in doing the right thing.
So let's see some of this leaven that we should be getting out of our house. Go back to Galatians 5. Galatians 19. This is the leaven that we need to be getting out of our bodies, man. Coming into this Passover.
The book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication,
Right?
uncleanness, lasciviousness,
And lasciviousness, man. This is the leaven that we need to remove from our bodies, man, right? Read.
idolatry,
What else?
witchcraft,
Idolatry, witchcraft. We know witchcraft is simply what? Going against the law, right? Rebellion, man. Rebellion is the sin of witchcraft, right? Read.
hatred,
But what?
hatred,
What do we need to remove, get the leaven from us right now?
hatred,
What?
hatred.
Say, man. That hatred real, man. Brother and sister, husband and wife, daughter and mother. Hey, that hatred is real, man. Brother and brother. Sister and sister. This is the leaven. Look at it. This is the leaven that we need to remove from ourselves, man. This is some of the leaven that we need to be removing from ourselves. Read.
Con. Hatred, variance, emulation.
Hold up, what is variance? Any brother know what is variance?
Differences?
What kind of differences though?
Going against all the time.
Say it again.
Going against something all the time.
Going against something all the time. You just always got that at odds brother. That can't never get on one accord. That at odds sister. That can't never get on one accord sister. You don't never want a type of spirit like that, man.
For real.
Never, man.
And for real, like you always got a problem.
Always, for real.
Who always got a damn problem, man? Like for real, man. Nobody wants to be around somebody that always got a problem.
That's right.
Who wants to talk to that, man?
No.
How you doing today, brother? He just feel like, hey, man, you make you stop calling, man. Right?
You're upset. Damn, brother. What you mad about today? I said, call you yesterday and you was pissed. Call you today, you upset. Damn. Right? So let's read on.
Con. Hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresy.
Hey, man, that's a lot of leaven that we need to remove, man. That's right. Hatred, right? Strife, variance, heresy, seditions, man. Read.
Envying, drunkenness,
Envy, man. That's heavy, man. We need to remove that leaven from us, man. Read.
revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
Because if you don't let this leaven go, or get this leaven out your house, you won't inherit the kingdom of God, man. These people won't make it, man, to the kingdom, man, with this on you, man.
What is seditions? Any brother know? See, a lot of times we read these words, but you got to start looking into these definitions, man. This is how you really, even like I can say, getting your study up to where brothers and sisters are being posed with these questions. Any brother know what seditions is? What you got, Brother John? What you got? What is a sedition?
What do they sound like?
Isn't that an evil mode?
Being seduced.
It's going into rebel. What type of a rebel? Like what we seen when the people took over the Capitol building, meaning trying to overthrow something that's established. Mm-hmm. So you have brothers and sisters with those particular type of spirits that try to overthrow what the Most High God is trying to build up. Brothers and sisters got to watch out for those particular type of spirits and call those things out, man. Because if they're not called out, a lot of times people do that to do what? Creep in unawares and try to tear down what the Most High God is doing, man. Brothers and sisters have to watch out for that particular spirit, particularly among Passover, because we know a lot of times brothers and sisters, they leave, but then they don't want to do what? They don't want to leave alone. They want to do what? Try to leave and take as many brothers and sisters as they can. Brothers got to watch out for their spirit sisters as well, man.
Because people around this time of year, they looking for somebody to blame for their sins or for their ignorance.
Right.
This is what people like to do the most. And this is what the Lord get down on the most, man. When he see a particular, to any particular spirit that does not know how to forgive, that's always trying to get people to blame something on, the Lord, like I've been saying, man, they are weep, man. The Lord weeping this thing out, man. Everybody in the truth ain't fit for the kingdom. They just not, man. He called you, but we got to remember, regardless of how we feel, it's 4 types of Israelites. You're going to be in one of them categories, man. And you better hope you in the one that's getting 30, 60, and 100-fold. That's what you better hope you are. Because the other 3 did not make it. You got to, hey, kid, even if you strive for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, however many years you be here, everybody don't want the truth. Everybody ain't got the vision to endure to the end. Right. Everybody don't want that. Everybody got these so much feelings we got for our own self that we forget about it's 4 types of Israelites. And you're going to fall in one of them categories. No matter how you feel. You can pretend it, but it's still there.
That's right, man. So we want to make sure that we get this leaven about our houses, right? These are things that will not get us into the kingdom of God, right? Go to 1 Corinthians 5 and 8. Well, we can start at 6.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 6.
Bring it out.
Your glory is not good. Know ye not that a little leaveneth the whole lump?
So a little, just a few of those sins, right? Just, okay, well, I'm gonna take away the murder, but I'm gonna keep the reveling, right? That's right. I'm gonna take away eight of them, but I'm gonna keep 1 or 2. A little, just a few of those leaven the whole lump, right? Just a few of those sins will still make the whole lump bad, right? Just think about it. If you got a batter and you mixing up a cake and you get just a little bit of contamination, then the whole damn cake is contaminated, right? No matter if you got a little bit on the left side where it was baked at, the damn whole cake is gone. Right?
Therefore, the old leaven.
Purge therefore out them old ways. That old woman or that old man, right? Right? Those murderous thoughts, those murderers, hating your brother, man, that hate, that reveling, that envy, that strife. Purge that out, man. Read.
Purge out therefore the old leaven, that you may be a new lump.
Ain't that what we fighting on all day? Ain't that the battle? Continual battle? You versus you. You are fighting you every day. Take that leaven away, man. Purge out that old leaven so that new leaven can come in, man. That unleavened can come in, right? Purge out that old man so that that new man can take his place, man. Let that old woman go so that new woman can strive to be who she really is, man. Right? Read on.
That ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened.
As ye are what?
As ye are unleavened.
As you are unleavened. Read.
For even Christ, our Passover, is sacrificed for us.
Because our true Passover was sacrificed for us, man. Right? Our Passover, the ultimate lamb, man. Right? The greatest sacrifice, man, was for us, man. So that means that we can at least try to do that, man. We can at least try to sacrifice that old man. We can at least try to kill out that old woman, man. Right? Read on.
Verse 8. Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven.
Therefore, let us keep this feast, not with old leaven, man. Can't bring old man up in this Passover, man. Can't bring the old woman into this Passover, man. Can't bring the old child into this Passover. Right? Keep the feast not with old leaven, man. Read.
Neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness.
Malice and wickedness in your heart, man. I'm talking about this ought to be a great week, man. Brothers and sisters ought to be smiles from ear to ear, man. Neck to neck. Edge up to edge of baby her to baby her. Wherever, however long your damn smile can go, man.
You say what? BB to
BB.
BB to BB, man. BB to BB, man. You should have smiles, man. Right? Trying to purge off that old man, that old woman, man.
Man, that's a great point that Ike is bringing out, because if you're not in that particular type of spirit, then what, you're not doing something in order.
That's right.
Even like Ike is just steady homing in the point, man. It's something that you didn't get right in order. The brothers and sisters is not in the spirit. Like we say, even coming in tomorrow, brothers and sisters want to make sure that they're in the spirit, in the Passover spirit, ready to do the work of the Lord, ready to celebrate, to commemorate what he did for us, man, and what he's still doing for us, man.
Become. Let's go to Exodus 12 and 21, man. Go back to Exodus. Go to chapter 12 and verse 21. We'll read 21 through 24.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 21.
Bring it out.
Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families and kill the Passover.
And do what?
And kill the Passover.
And kill the Passover, right? Read.
And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out of the door of his house until the morning, for the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians. And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come into your houses to smite you.
Say, man, that's heavy. He won't suffer the destroyer to come and destroy you, man, right? So the blood on the door, what is that going into today? We put the blood on our door to solidify and let the Lord know that hey, we were Israel, right? That we understood that we was in order. But what is the blood on the door? Read that again so that the destroyer. We just read 23 again.
Son, for the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians. And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel.
So when the Lord see the blood on the door, right, read?
And on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come into your houses to smite you.
What is the Lord looking for now to pass over from us not to be for us to be passed over?
Sacrifice, commandments that we keep in the law.
That we keep in the law. Sacrifice, but what are we sacrificing now?
Like our old ways, the old man.
We sacrificing us, right? The law. So the blood on the door now represents the law. The Lord said that when he see that, the blood on the door, he will what? Pass over you and won't allow the destroyer to destroy you. Now what does the Lord need to see on us? He need to see those commandments on you, man. He need to see those laws on you, man. That's what the blood of the door represents now, man, right? That you are keeping the laws, man. He said, I will not allow someone to destroy to come into your house to smite you. That's right. Who is the destroyer today? Esau in his ways, man. Sin. Sin. What combats sin? The law. According to 1 Corinthians, man, 15, 55, 56, right? Sin is the strength of the law. Therefore, the blood on the door now equivalates to us keeping the laws, man. So when the Lord see that we keeping the laws, guess what? He'll pass over us, knock off everybody else, man. Right? Let's get a precept. Let's go to Jeremiah 59 and 17. Did I write it down wrong? I wrote it down wrong. I say, huh? Just be right quick. Hold on. My handwriting is trash. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Why you gotta do it? Yeah, let's go to Isaiah 59 and 17. I put Jeremiah. I do that a lot too. With Isaiah and Jeremiah, man, I don't know why, man. Those books like they go hand in hand to me, man. They the same to me, man. Shalaka family, Isaiah. So, y'all do what's up, man. Appreciate y'all. Isaiah 59 and 17.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 17.
Bring it out.
For he put on righteousness as a breastplate and a helmet of salvation upon his head.
So this is what we have to be putting on, man. I said it earlier. He like he put a preacher talking about Ephesians 6 and 11. This is what we need to put on now. We were putting the blood over the door. Now we need to put on the laws, man. The armor of God, which is what? The laws, which is the what? The righteousness of the breastplate, right? Read.
And a helmet of salvation upon his head.
And the helmet on your head, right? Read.
And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a cloak.
So now we are trying to put on the laws, man. That's what we're putting over the door. Now we put that on our life, now our body, right? Now we're putting on the laws of the Most High God. Let's go to Ephesians now, 6 and 11.
Wake up, brothers. What's the other precept that brothers can go to? All praise God. Brothers got to be on point like that always, man. If brothers is not at that level, damn it, get to that level, man. Like, get to that level. Brothers know how we rock now. That's the train, brothers, to always be in the spirit and always be ready for the battle, man.
That's right. Wisdom of Solomon 5, I started at 16.
Verse 16 on that.
No, man, I got 16.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, me, when I start somewhere, I put a dash. Yeah, and it just continue. Yeah, that's me. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 16. So we are now putting on the laws. Instead of the blood over the door, now we're putting on the laws, man. That's how we become a living sacrifice to the Lord, right? Ephesians 6 and 11.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
So are we literally going to buy us a damn helmet? Like one of those Sparta helmets, right? We're really ready to go Sparta. Are we really buying those helmets? Are we really getting us a big breastplate, right? With a big shield? Are we out there going to go to war? No, it says spiritual wickedness that we're going through, right? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. This is that spiritual warfare that we're in, man, right? Read.
Verse 14. So like verse 13.
Yeah.
Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand.
That's what we tell these Christians, man. You got to put on the whole armor, man. You can't come in here and think that, because you're reading in the right book that you got to, man, you got to put on the whole armor, man. You can't be out here eating pork and shrimp and catfish and lobster and stuff, man. You don't have the whole armor on. You can't be out here trying to make up your own Sabbath day, man. You ain't got the whole armor on, man. Go ahead,
Man, that last part is heavy, man. He said, and having done all to stand, man.
Man, everything that you could possibly do.
Man, that's a heavy thing with brothers